advisories on this WRAL weather alert day. All time out your hour-by-hour heat index and big rain potential by the end of the week.
13 cars were broken into at Walnut Creek over the weekend. We're live after speaking to police about the status of the investigation and how people should protect their belongings.
Then AI in the job market, and not in the way you might think. How scammers are stealing company info by using AI to steal your job.
I have lots of experience.
Oh, I had a feeling it might come to this. With today's highs in the 90s and heat indexes in the triple digits, this is now the hottest summer on record in our area. Yeah, it doesn't feel good. Thanks for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Ashley Rowe.
And I'm Dan Haggerty. Not the record you want to beat. It's another heat advisory ahead tomorrow. It continues. We're also keeping an eye on the radar. All that heat does mean a chance for storms similar to what we've been seeing and what we saw last night. Kat Campbell joining us. Kat, you got your hands full these days, of course, in the WRL Severe Weather Center.
A lot of heat alerts that we've seen lately. We had the flood advisories last night. Today was our 18th day this month with a heat index surpassing 100 degrees. Another heat advisory will go into effect tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. This lasts until 8 p.m. The peak heat index between 103 and 108. And almost all of our viewing area is included. All of the triangle is under the advisory tomorrow. As for storm chances, we had a severe thunderstorm warning earlier closer to Sampson County. Since then, that storm has faded. Still a couple of outflow boundaries out there. That's the cool air that rushes out from earlier storms. Those can sometimes still spark additional storms. So we've got about a 30% chance of a storm for the next couple of hours. But then we've got changes on the way. We've had almost a week now of a heat index reaching 100. How do some 60s sound? Those are on the way this weekend. It's all thanks to this cold front, but it will bring decent rain chances. I'm tracking the front coming up.
All right, Kat, thank you. An investigation is underway after someone broke into 13 cars during a concert at Walnut Creek. Among the stolen items were guns and cash. And tonight, another concert is underway. WRAL's Willie Danley joining us now live from the amphitheater. Willie, any increased police patrol out there tonight?
Yes, Ashley, I spoke to Raleigh Police. They tell us that officers are going to be more visible in these areas in light of those recent break-ins. You can actually see behind me, there are no shortage of Raleigh police officers that are out here today. In the month of July, so far, over 50 cars have been reported to have been broken into in this area. Sunday's crime spree happened during a Wiz Khalifa concert, and according to police, it appears that the thieves targeted Dodge vehicles. I spoke to several people in this area who showed up tonight for the Mumford & Sons concert, and they're unaware of the slew of break-ins that happened just 3 days ago. I reached out to Raleigh Police to learn more about the status of the investigation and how owners can protect their property.
You know, some of these areas are being targeted, and because, you know, there's the criminal aspect knows, you know, when these events are taking place, they know how long they have when people are going to be away from their vehicles. So it's just really important, you know, that community members just do their very best to protect their property.
The investigation into these car break-ins is still underway. Police do have some leads that they're following up on. In the meantime, police are encouraging everyone to lock their cars and remove all valuables. We're going to stay on top of this story. Tune into WRAL at 10 and 11 for more information. In Raleigh, Willie Danley, WRAL News.
All right, Willie, thank you. So isn't it nice when everybody gets along? Today, state lawmakers, Republicans and Democrats, they reached a deal to fund our state government. This isn't the full budget. It's more of a little mini one, but it is keeping things running smoothly as we wait for the bigger deal to be put together. But today's deal, again, just to start, there's still plenty of debate and argument to be had. To get a better idea of what's included in this one, though, I spoke to WRAL's Capitol Bureau Chief, Laura Leslie. So, Laura, this deal kind of came out of nowhere. I think one House Republican actually said this afternoon that he hadn't even seen the deal yet. So it sounds like this was a pretty secretive process. How did we get to a Senate floor vote so quickly?
You know, that's a good question, Dan, and I've heard a lot of frustration here from members in the House and the Senate. They say that the budget process this year has been controlled very tightly by House Speaker Dustin Hall and Senate Pro Tem Phil Berger. So a lot of members who normally would be involved in putting the budget together have not been. I think that's why it came as a bit of a surprise to everyone. However, it did roll out on the Senate floor. There was very little debate about it, and it passed with overwhelming support.
This is a mini budget, a so-called mini budget. There's still some work to be done on the larger budget. What is included then in this deal?
This is extremely limited. This is money that just keeps the state running, right? Because the state can continue to run on last year's budget, but there's more kids in our schools now, right? There's more people on Medicaid, and Medicaid costs more. There are, changes. There are budget pressures that change from year to year that need to be accounted for so the state can go on functioning. And that is the majority of what this does. It provides that money that the state needs to go into the next fiscal year, but it doesn't do any big spending, and it does not include things like raises for teachers and state employees. It includes step increases, but those raises everyone has been waiting on, those were not part of this negotiated deal. So those are still in the balance.
One of the things I've heard you discuss in your reporting is the DAVE Act. That is included in this mini budget. It's a pretty important piece of legislation, too. Can you walk us through a little bit about what that does?
Yeah, that is something that Senate leader Phil Berger had championed. And what it does is it gives a lot more staff to State Auditor Dave Bolek and more power, more investigatory power as well in several bills this year. This will really massively expand the size of the State Auditor's Office and give them the personnel to conduct a lot more investigations.
So this first step now approved in the Senate by a vote of 47-2. What is next, though? What do we expect from the House tomorrow, Laura?
Oh, I expect it'll go through with a similar level of support. I mean, as I said, there's nothing really controversial in this bill except maybe the DAVE Act. The vast majority of this bill really is about keeping the government running, and that is the one job that lawmakers are given to do when they get up here. So I think most folks would like to get at least something on the books.
We'll let you get running as well. I know you're always busy when you're down there at the legislative office. So, Laura, thank you.
Thanks.
Now, a couple of other things that we should mention here in this mini budget deal, a pretty big win for the DMV. So we have seen these long lines at offices statewide for months. What a pain it has been for so many people. Little over $1 million now to hire dozens of DMV workers. $15 million for 4 new DMV offices. Fuquay Arena is going to get one. Also, the state health plan is going to get an additional $100 million. The program is in a pretty big budget shortfall right now to the tune of $500 million. This should put a bit of a dent in that. We should also mention that this mini budget doesn't include proposed tax cuts. Again, we expect a vote from the House sometime tomorrow.
Another busy day in the news today, so let's get you caught up. Here are 5 things you should know right now. For the second day, a road in the Village District in Raleigh shut down because of a water main break. No sinkhole this time, more like, look at this, a geyser. Sky 5 flew over as water was shooting into the air this morning. Somehow businesses didn't lose water service. We're told this is the same pipe that broke yesterday, a pipe that was installed almost 100 years ago. The short-term fix, patching up the leak. The long-term fix, replacing the old pipes. A Raleigh man is accused of shooting a man for not giving him a ride. This happened last Thursday on Keeter Center Drive. Police tell us McNeil went up to the victim and asked for a ride. That person said no. The man pulled out a gun. That began a fight, and then the victim was shot. He went to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. Terry McNeil faces several charges, including assault.
Today, the Trump administration froze $108 million in federal funding meant for Duke Health. HHS is demanding that Duke cooperate with the federal government to investigate allegations of race discrimination at the School of Medicine and at Duke Health. We reached out to Duke for comment and have not heard back. Well, former Governor Roy Cooper didn't waste any time fundraising, did he? In the first 24 hours after announcing his candidacy for Senate, he raised $3.4 million. That was quick. That's according to his campaign. Republican Michael Whatley is expected to enter the race later this week. State lawmakers tried 14 veto overrides today. 8 of them ended up successful. Here are some of the highlights. Laws set to take effect, allowing teachers or volunteers to to carry guns on private school campuses, defining gender in state law by biological organs, and expands the number and types of criminal charges law enforcement must check on a person's immigration status. You can find a full list, all these different laws, all these changes at WRAL.com.
Still ahead, one of the big concerns about AI is how it will shake up the job market. But the chaos is already here, not just because AI is taking the jobs, but because scammers are taking the jobs using AI.
Oh, well, you just saw that weird, off-putting version of me? That's just a taste of what AI is capable of. A fake voice, a fake digital avatar. People are using this stuff to infiltrate companies. I ask HR professionals what they're doing about it. That's after the break.
AI is being used all over the internet for all kinds of things, including this. Deepfake technology to make me look and sound however I want.
Okay, that is the last time I'll make you watch that version of myself. I know it's pretty off-putting, but that's actually one of the cheaper, less detailed softwares. If I can do that with AI in 30 minutes at my desk at work, imagine what a committed scammer can do with it. It's a real problem for companies around the world. You see, scammers use AI to disguise themselves in video interviews, get hired, and then infiltrate the company. Get this, according to a recent study, by 2028, 1 in 4 candidate profiles worldwide will be fake. In other words, a 25% chance that the person applying is not who they say they are. Scammers have been doing this for years without AI. Just last year, the Justice Department announced charges against a man in Nashville, Tennessee. He's accused of helping North Korean scammers get jobs as IT workers using stolen identities. They were paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, money that was funneled to the North Korean government for its weapons program. Now, artificial intelligence is making it easier and more sophisticated. It's incredibly simple to create fake personas, a completely new version of yourself that looks different, sounds different, or more. In just a few clicks, I took my picture and Dan's picture and created this beautiful person. Let's call him Dashley. I know this is pretty terrible, but let me tell you, it can go much further than that. Like I said earlier, I sat at my desk, took a video of myself on an AI website, and that website created an avatar of me, which can make me say anything I want, like this.
My name is Ashley. I would be a great addition to your team. I have lots of experience in this industry, and I'm a team player.
You can tell that was entirely deep fake. At no point did those words ever actually come out of my mouth. So while we're messing around, I've always wanted to sound smarter, so let's give me a British accent.
This is the British accent feature. You can make yourself have any accent you want. And this is just me, messing around on my computer for a few minutes.
Again, low quality, not exactly believable, but this is a low-grade example I did in just a few minutes at my desk. About 17% of hiring managers surveyed in a recent study said they had encountered candidates using deepfake technology to alter their video interviews. So, what can people who do the hiring do about this? I sat down with the head of human resources for WRAL's parent company, Capital Broadcasting. Are these kinds of topics, conversations that you're having with other industry professionals?
They are coming up more and more frequently. As a matter of fact, some companies are using exclusive. They'll send an email link to people and say, hey, I want you to answer these questions on a video, and nobody's on the other side. Okay, that's happening a lot more frequently, and I'm not a big fan of that because that doesn't set up a great candidate experience, but it saves companies that are doing volume hiring a lot of time.
Have you heard of companies accidentally employing someone who they thought was someone but was actually someone else? Have you heard of this actual example?
Yes.
Really?
And I think especially in companies that hire people that are purely remote. If you don't have some checks and balances inside of things, those things can happen pretty easily. So you've got to really have processes and procedures in place to keep those things from happening.
You might hear all of this and say, yeah, companies that fall for AI scammers, that's on them. They should only hire people that they've met in person. You're not wrong. Pam said just about as much. But one of the reasons this happens is because of something called high volume hiring. It's when a company needs to hire a lot of new people fast. Pam and I talked about this, and she told me that can be one reason why companies spend less time screening candidates, opting for video interviews instead of in-person ones. And companies actually use AI to do this. Two examples include Paradox AI and HireVue. So AI could be one of the reasons companies are getting scammed by AI, but AI could be the fix too. Companies are trying to use AI to protect themselves against scammers. Pam told me the technology isn't quite there yet. It's not quite reliable enough. So whichever AI company can figure that out might have a gold mine on their hands.
I mean,
Dashley.
Oh yeah, that was that was not nice.
Traumatized
Kat,
there.
I am.
I'll take it from you as you're soaking that in right now. Well, I've got good news. How about this? 2 days left of the scorching heat, and then we get a break from the heat wave. It is finally coming, thanks to a cold front that is on the way. You doing okay now?
Just go ahead and zoom in past me, please, if you wouldn't mind. I'll just slink away.
It was a bit scarring to see that come together. All right, the heat's coming back for 2 more afternoons, and then check this out, 83 Saturday, 83 on Sunday. Beautiful weather for the weekend in terms of temperatures. Now, we have added cloud cover to the weekend, and we'll get to that in a minute, but let's focus on the positive there. The cold front starts to move closer on Thursday. Because of that, initial storms that develop are going to eventually make their way here. So we've got about a 60% chance of storms Thursday. Friday is when the front is actually here and overhead. Friday is when we're going to be watching for some heavy rain. I wouldn't be shocked if we were added to a severe weather threat on Friday as well. When a front's nearby, you've got more wind shear, and that helps storms often organize. One thing to note, though, we're going to have to watch and see where this front stalls. If it stalls close enough to us this weekend, that may enhance some storm chances that could linger a bit later into the weekend. Friday is the day we're watching for the heavy rain as well. A medium flood risk already in place from Raleigh, points south. North of Raleigh, it is a lower end flood threat, but still some heavy rain possible. 90 degrees outside this evening still, mostly cloudy skies. The radar has quieted down for now. We'll let you know if that changes tonight. The bulk of the storms are to our west for now. Lows are in the mid to upper 70s. Again, it's warm, it's muggy tonight. By this weekend, though, those lows should dip back into the 60s. Tomorrow, the scorching heat's back. High temperatures climb into the mid-90s as we look at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning, 78 degrees. By noon, we could already have some thunderstorms around by 11 a.m. or noon, so they may pop up a little earlier in the day. That's something to keep in mind if you're headed to the pool tomorrow. Make sure you've got your WRAL weather app on hand. That way you can check in on the dual Doppler 5000 radar or just turn on your notifications and you'll be alerted if rain or lightning is nearby. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., we should be off to a dry start in the morning, but by 11 a.m., this isn't the only model that shows some storms popping up around Wake County between 11 a.m. and noon, and we'll watch for some of these spotty storms to last into the afternoon hours as well. And then storm chances ramp up. It's a 40% chance tomorrow, a 60% chance tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, I should say. But by the weekend, 66 degrees the low on Sunday and Monday mornings. Sunday looks a little bit better than Saturday right now, but a nice stretch of 5 days in a row with high temperatures in the mid-80s. Dan and Ashley or Dashley?
Oh, yikes. How long can we keep that streak going? Nice temperatures?
Maybe Wednesday
we'll see.
max.
All right. Thank you, Kat. So we have a really great story for you after the break. While responding to the flood damage in Texas, a Nash County deputy ran into his long-lost sister. They hadn't seen each other in 20 years. We have their reunion as your one last thing next. One last thing to share tonight, and it involves kind of a law enforcement celebrity in our area. Canine Fiji is with the Nash County Sheriff's Office. She and her handler, Deputy Jack Thorpe, just spent weeks in Kerrville, Texas. They were there helping to recover some of the recovery efforts after the devastating floods this past month.
Fiji was helping locate dozens of missing people. It's something that she is really good at. You may remember last year, Fiji and Deputy Thorpe went to Western North Carolina to help with the search and rescue effort there after Helene. How this canine has been able to help in these situations is nothing short of amazing. But something else pretty amazing happened while Fiji and Deputy Thorpe were in Central Texas.
While they were out there doing that work, bringing closure to families, they came across another search and rescue crew, and one of the members just happened to be Deputy Thorpe's long-lost sister.
It's the first time I've seen her in 20 years. She gave me a hug and we talked for a little while, and then the next day we had dinner when we finally got a break.
Here is that reunion in the field, caught on camera. I mean, the odds, right, of them running into each other. Even K9 Fiji got in on the action there.
Yeah, and here they are at dinner, enjoying each other's company for the first time in decades. Deputy Thorpe told us his siblings are older than him, and they left home when he was just a little kid. So there you have it, right? A positive, heartfelt moment in the middle of devastation. Let's lean into that moment of hope tonight.
So it turns out that Deputy Thorpe's sister is also a musician. So she and her band put on a concert for all of the first responders. We want to leave you with a short clip from that concert with Deputy Thorpe's long-lost sister playing the bass, showing her gratitude to her brother, his service, and his K9.
Thanks for making WRAL your choice for local news. We leave you with this. Good night.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.